Hello and welcome. Another spring practice. Continuing from where we left off last week, using that spring creativity to create our practice, to be creative in our yoga flows, and to add on a little bit more to our sequence. I hope you enjoy it. Come and sit quietly a moment. Shut your eyes and take the awareness inwards. And as you take time to be still and you've settled comfortably, take time to look inwards, to look inside, and to say hello to you. It might be the first time you've stopped today. And how are you feeling? Any parts, any areas of the body that feel particularly good? What do they feel like? Sensations. Your breath. And then awareness on anywhere that maybe doesn't feel so good. Simply observing that inner landscape. When we become aware, then we can notice the sensations. And then very gently bring yourself back. We start with a breath, an energizing breath, taken from the Drew energy breath. We're going to do a big in-breath up. Exhale, let the energy wash through you. And offer it out. And give it back to the earth. And again. So breathe well, right up into the top of the lungs, into the top of the chest. And a nice long, slow out breath, navel to spine. Squeeze the belly in at the end of the out breath. And breathing in to the sides of the ribs and the back as well as the front and to the earth. And again. Keep your breath slow and smooth and easy. Maybe breathe right up into the collarbone area, up between the shoulders, and let everything go. And just two more. Just like you're inflating a big balloon here. How long and smooth can you make the out breath? Remember that pause at the bottom of the breath. And down. So one more. Hello. And breathing in. And nice and smooth and slowly out. A nice, happy, joyful breath, a nice smile, and relaxing back down. I'm just going to let Evie out because I think she wants to go out. She's getting a little bit frisky and excited, aren't you? Let's put you outside, Evie. Come on. Otherwise you'll be a nuisance. There. Off you go. Let's do a whirlpool. A whirlpool of energy from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. You might even shut your eyes. Just energizing the spine and feeling the space around the heart center. And maybe you start to take opposite shoulder to opposite knee. Be creative. That's what it's all about. Let's go the other way. And how do you feel? How does your back feel? Your shoulders, your neck. Are there any icky areas? Anywhere that's a little bit stuck, a little bit tight? And well done. So maybe change the cross of your legs, maybe sit a different way. We'll do a short meditation again. Same as we did last week. So spring, new beginnings, time to plant seeds, time to be creative. Feeling re-energized. Once again, maybe you know what you want to create for yourself. Maybe you've visualized it before. Maybe you already have a dream. Or maybe you need to take time to think what you need for you. Maybe a change of direction in your life, in your work. Or planning a new home or garden. Or I think it's really important just to make a promise to make more time for yourself, to nurture yourself and care for yourself. Get more rest and relaxation. To sit quietly and bring to mind what you want. Choose one thing you want. Keep visualizing what you want so you can create the energy to bring it towards you. And how do you want to feel once your visualization has manifested? How do you feel once you have what you want? Once you've created that for yourself? And then keep that promise with you. Keep that intention with you. I'm going to come onto hands and knees. And think about this energy in the sacrum. That's where your creative energy is stored, the sacral chakra. Some circles or some wiggles here. And into the back. It's the kidney area. Maybe make the circles bigger or smaller or whatever you want to do. And feel into the sides of the body. That's it. Warming up the spine. And go the other way. You might even shut the eyes. It's good to explore. And then maybe being a bit creative, you can do whatever you like. You figure of 8. You can swing backwards and forwards. Be aware. Be aware of the sensations, the breath. Yoga's a journey. It's about getting to know you, yourself. And taking what you learn on the mat, off the mat, into your everyday life. So we'll do a few breathing in and breathing out. And you can take your sit bones back to your heels if you like and stretch through your back. That might be nice. Let's get a lovely flow going here. From the tailbone to the crown of the head. A sort of wave-like movement, that wave up the spine. Think how free and fluid your spine is. We've worked so hard. So you're only as young as your spine is flexible. You're only as young as your spine is flexible. So keeping our spine healthy is the body's main support. Its neurological core. Lovely. And then take it back. Take a stretch. You might want to curl up in a little ball. You might want to take the knees apart. Maybe your forehead in your hands if you like. Choose which sort of child you want to be. There's many sorts of children, aren't there? The same as there's many sorts of yoga postures. And breathe well into the back body. Breathe in between the shoulders. Breathe out, relax your lower back. Breathe in between the shoulders and breathe out into the kidney area, soothing this area. Stimulating this energy for the spring. Allowing yourself to soften, to let go. And 2 more nice slow breaths. Slowly can you come up and come to kneeling. And if kneeling's not right for you, it's not right for everybody. You could put a pillow between your calves and your thighs there, the back of your knees, or you could sit a different way. Sit beautifully tall. Now do a big in-breath, big breath of joy. And take your left arm over your right and give yourself a hug and hold the hug. Feel a lovely stretch through the thoracic, tuck the chin in, between the shoulders. And then look up and another big in-breath. And give yourself another hug. And take a little rock here. And one more. Left arm on top, take the hug. Nice flexion of the spine here. And then look up and eagle your arms. Lift the elbows away. Take a few breaths into the back body. And feel the space you're making. And then we breathe in and we come up into a high kneel and we take a back bend here. And turn this way. Lift your heart. Big stretch and then open your wings. Reach high. And I'm going to take a little twist over towards the left. left. Doesn't really matter which way you go because we'll be doing the other side. But your hips are facing forward and you're moving from the waist. A little stretch there. Take a few breaths. You probably won't go too far. And then we're going to tuck the left toes under like that. And some of you are going to take the left hand just to support the low back. That might be enough. They might take it to the side. And some will be able to hold the heel. And open to a nice sort of twisty back bend here. You can look down, you can look to the side, you can take the palm up if you like. It's a little bit like a half camel. Breathe well. Just watch your low back. Stay there, but if this is pulling in your low back or anything doesn't feel right, just take a little stretch like that, okay? It's all right for things to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but anything sharp, anything stinging, don't do it. And a few more breaths. Wonderful. Do a big stretch up. Sweep your arms down and take a few breaths in child. Relax. Allow yourself to soften, have a wiggle. Rounding the back, flexing the spine as a counter posture. Maybe have a little rock from side to side and soften. And then slowly come up to a low kneel again. Okay, so turn the other way. Going to breathe in and come up. This time, right arm is on top. Give yourself a nice hug. And just stay there. Stretch through the mid-back. And get quite tight here between the shoulders. Breathing in. Give yourself a nice big hug there. And one more. Just make sure your right arm is on top. Take the stretch and eagle your arms. Lift the elbows away. Breathe well into the space of the heart at the back. Maybe lift them a little bit higher. Can you reach them up to the chin? Can you take the lower arms away? And then come up and take a back bend if it's right for you. Make a bit more space. Remember to keep those tummy muscles nice and firm. Remember the brace and space, that engagement in the abdominal muscles. And breathe in, a big stretch up there, a little back bend. And come over to your right this time. So the hips are facing forward. We're twisting out of the waist. Hold that. Can you come a wee bit deeper? Tuck the right toes under. Some of you might just take that. That might be enough. Back of the thigh or the heel if you can, and open up to your chosen back bend. And remember, if that's too much, staying here is a perfect little back bend. Doesn't matter what the pose looks like, it's what it feels like inside. There's two sorts of yoga. There's aesthetic yoga and functional yoga. Aesthetic yoga, which we don't really do much of that. We don't do it at all, really. Being aesthetic would be maybe a ice skater or a ballet dancer or a gymnast. Somebody that people were watching for entertainment or in a competition. We're doing our yoga functionally to help our very unique bodies. It's a very personal practice. And then very slowly come down to the earth. Take a child, take a few breaths. And really feel the breath in the back body. Breathe into the back body and breathe out and soften the low back. It's worked quite hard with that back bending. So relax and let go and soften the shoulders and the forehead. And let the earth support you and hold you. It's a great foundation for your practice. Let's come up nice and slowly here, and well done. I'm going to come, I'll turn round, we're going to tuck the toes under, give them a nice big stretch them out, and push your bum back towards your heels and have a little wiggle. Let's stay there for a few breaths. So get a nice stretch through the toes as you press down through the ball of the foot. Breathe well. This is a good foundation for your down dog. Press down with your hands, especially the pads of the thumb, the index finger, and all the rest of the fingers. Come up, tuck the toes under, lift high into lady dog. Draw your ribs towards your thighs. Maybe take a walk on the spot. Maybe take a slow walk here and stretch it out, or do whatever you need to do. Especially if you haven't had a practice for a while, keep the neck long. Keep pressing down with the hands to get a bit more juiciness. And think about your alignment. Keep rotating your upper arms out and your inner arms in. Make a bit more space. Good. I meant your lower arms in. Upper arms out. Lower arms in. Brilliant. And very slowly walk your hands back to your feet. And we found a forward bend. And your spine is beautifully free and loose. Just flowing like a river. Think of your body as a river. Have a little wiggle. And rivers are different. They flow in different directions. They're different every day. And that's how we are. We change, we flow. Depending on the day, so slowly, slowly, slowly curl up. Depending on the hour, the time of day, we can change. Take your hands to a prayer. So this is continuing the sequence from last week. And let's walk beautifully slowly. That meditative walk, remember. Spread your toes out, lift the arches, and feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel grounded. Feel good. So good to walk upon the earth. Feel the texture of your mats. Sort of mindfulness practice yoga is. At the front of your mat. We'll come and take a little chair. About 3 breaths. Sit back. Well done. And your left foot comes behind your right. And remember Om Namah Shivaya. Salutations to Shiva. Then we come to the, we come and we take a nice big wide stance actually, because remember, right over left, remember the temple dancer from last time. So this is your temple dancer. I'll turn round. So watch the knees stay over the ankles. Just make it a little bit creative. Whatever you want for you. Just go low, you go high. Ease into the hips, into the back, into the shoulders, into the knees. Anywhere that's a little bit tight, a little bit stuck. So you're a temple dancer. And then very gracefully, the right foot becomes behind the left. And you open up Om Namah Shivaya again. And then from there we take our hands down and look at your right foot and you step it back. And you can take the knee down. Come to a nice crescent moon back bendy twist here. And if the shoulder doesn't slide down the back, you just turn your palm, your pinky finger towards the back of the head and make a little bit more space. Breathe well. Make this your own. Maybe you want to make it a little bit more juicier and open up more, maybe you don't. Really keep lengthening out of that right thigh. These are very strengthening for your legs and for your hips. Well done. Take your hands down. Tuck your toes under. Let's take 3 breaths in down dog. Keep the neck long and just one more. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. So some of you will come down to a plank. This first one, I'm going to take my knees down. Just come down gently to the earth. You can stay in Sphinx if the back's got any issues like that. You can take your hands just in front of your shoulders. The further away, the easier. Keep the elbows in. 5 baby cobras. No, actually, let's do 3 and we'll do a turn with them. 3 on each side. Inhaling up. As you exhale, look to your right and come down. Keep the neck long. Inhaling up. Look to the left and come down. Keep anchoring down through the thighs, through the tops of the feet, and coming up to the right. To the left. Keep the tummy nice and firm. Just one more on each side. You don't have to come up too high. Keep the elbows in. And one more. Well done. That's great. Let's take a nice big stretch back there. Stretch out the back. Have a wiggle. Relax the forehead. Come onto hands and knees. Down dog. 3 more breaths. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. Same again for the other side. Walk your hands towards your feet and slowly curl up, resetting the spine. Take Anjali Mudra, the prayer mudra, Namaste. Slow walking. Feel every step. Spread the toes out. Just enjoy feeling your bare feet against the earth. Feeling grounded. Well done. And come and take a seat for 3 breaths. Squeeze knees and thighs together. Lift your heart. And this time Om Namah Shivaya with the right foot behind. Do a little twist if you like. Om Namah Shivaya. And then we take the left leg out. So don't be afraid to come off your mat. And the left arm comes in front. And we're in our temple dancer again. So just play with it. Be creative. I haven't got music on the video because of copyrights and because it also doesn't sound too good. So it might be nice, you know, if you want to play your own music. Not everybody likes music. I think that's the good thing about being at home. You can do your own thing, can't you? Well done. So steady on the right foot while we take the left foot behind and we curtsy Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the universal consciousness. We're all connected, we're all one. Om Namah Shivaya. Take your hands down and step back with your left leg this time. Bring the knee down for now. Walk the foot back and take a nice yummy stretch through the front thigh. I might walk that right foot out a bit. Push down with the left hand and then take a peek behind you, what's happening. And then you can open up, breathe well. Maybe turn the palm to the back of the head as well and slide the shoulder down the back. Maybe sink a little bit deeper so you get an extra stretch with that big front thigh muscle. And one more breath, breathing in slowly, breathing out slowly. Take your hands down, tuck the toes under. 3 nice, deep, slow recovery breaths in down dog. Keep the neck long. So we can come onto our knees, or we could come down through a plank. Keep the elbows in, take the knees down whenever you need to. So remember to brace and space, firm those tummy muscles up, engage the tummy muscles, keep the elbows in, and come down beautifully slowly without crashing. Well done. And then from here, we could do what we did before, you remember. Or we could do it no hands. And remember, Sphinx is an option. So you could bring the hands up. Keep pressing the thighs into the mat. Relax the low back. Front of the feet into the mat. If the toes lift off, tuck them under. Tummy firm. Just one more on each side. Strengthening the thoracic spine. Well done. Take a nice big stretch back and a little bit of a wiggle here. We'll take a few moments to rest here and soften before we carry on. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Check you're not holding anywhere. You can bring the arms down by the side if you like. Curl up into that little ball. And direct your breath into any areas of tightness. Look inside. Take the awareness in so you notice the sensations, you notice the breath. And often when you're still, the mind starts to wander, thinking, what shall I have for dinner tonight? What's in the fridge? Very gently bring it back to the breath. It doesn't matter how much the mind wanders, it matters that you're aware that it does. And very slowly come up, down dog again. So we stretched our feet in a dorsiflexion before we started. Let's think about plantar flexion, a ballerina stretch. So come on the front of the left foot and take a little bit of a rock there. And just stretch it out. And then let's do the right foot, front of the foot. A nice stretch of the ankle there, isn't it? And then take the right leg up, stretch it up and circle the ankle. Have a wiggle, wiggle the toes. Take both ways. Keep that other leg strong. Draw the knee in. Step it through. So you might need to help it through. As we clip the left foot out, we're going to come into warrior one here. Square the left hips off. Take a couple of breaths and set up the posture. So feel grounded and feel where gravity is acting on your body. And then when we're grounded, and we've got this nice firm tummy, we can move in this. We can think about our balance. So you're going to bring that left foot forward. Ooh, and you're going to tuck the toes under and take a stretch. And that ballerina stretch. I hope it feels all right. I'm going to take your hands here, I meant to say. Let's do a couple more of these. So step it back. Try to move carefully with control. And then take the hands down. Take a little bit of a stretch here. Really feel that, I hope. And inhaling up. And then come down. Just hold it there, take a little rock. And then from here, we're going to root down through the right leg, bend the knee, kind of flying bird. Breathe well. Open your wings. Let's do 5 more breaths. 5, 4, 3, well done, steady does it. 2, 1, how gracefully can you step back? When you've got nice firm core muscles, you can move with integrity. We open our arms and we come to a sort of diagonal, palms face the front, interlink the fingers, lift your heart, make some space through the front of the body, that knee's over the ankle, and that might be enough for you. You might just come and rest there, that might be enough. I'm coming into devotional warrior, or the head might hang towards the inner right foot, and the arms act as a lever, they come over. So relax and breathe well, press down with the front foot, breathe into any areas of tightness in that right hip, and let go. Nice and steady with the back foot. And stay there, relax. Let gravity, the breath, the weight of your body ease you down and soften you. And it might be very nice, or it might not be, to take your hands in a foot and push down and go a little bit deeper, or you might just put the hands on the hips or rest all together. So find a place, adjust the feet, it doesn't matter. Find a place that feels good. Some of you might even get the elbows down and the thumbs towards the brow, but stay there. Be aware of the sensations, how you feel the breath, how your hip feels. Don't overdo it. We hold a lot in our hips, a lot physically and emotionally. You're going to turn, toes to the front, and this time, if it's right for you, and it doesn't matter if it's not, you can take the knee down, we open up again. We're doing a high, twisty, back bendy lunge. So keep low, don't be like that. Stay low, so you get that nice stretch from the heel all the way up to the front of the leg. All the way at the back to the crown of the head. And if you feel that leg really working, you can feel the big thigh bone lengthening out the pelvis, surrounded by that sheet of muscle that's working. And push down with the hands, see if you can make it a little bit more juicier. So these are strong yang type postures, and they give us strength and stamina. Stay with the breath. Well done. Hands in a foot. Look at the left foot and turn the foot out. And look at the left hand and do a big circle up. So you found warrior 2 now. Found warrior 2. Reach your arms from the centre. Beautifully strong. And sink down a bit more. Let the breath help you into position. And we can move with this. Breathing in. Breathe, take the hands to the back of the head and spread the energy out. And again. And see if you can sink a little bit deeper with each breath. Beautifully, beautifully strong here. Wonderful. Forgotten how many I've done. Let's do 2 more. This time actually we'll stay there and we'll turn at the front here. And a few of those breaths like we did in the beginning, the true energy breaths. So you breathe in as you reach up and breathe out, let the energy wash through you. Breathe in, offer out and to the earth. And let's move the legs this time. So breathing in, breathing out, offering, and exhale. And again, drawing the energy up, letting it wash through, sink a little bit deeper, opening out, back to the earth. Just 2 more like this again. And you got it. Watch those knees. And one more. So really root down and extend this time. See if you can sink a little bit lower. Well done. We come up and do a big stretch. Prayer hands, crown, brow, throat, heart. And this is a goddess, so sit in the goddess. So the goddess, Easter's coming up. The goddess of spring is called Eastra, like in Easter, or Ostra. The pagan goddess of fertility, dawn, new beginnings, planting seeds, goddess of the light. Sink a little bit deeper. Well done. And then coming into our Om Namah Shivaya again, you take the left foot behind the right. Oh, you cannot see. Take the left foot out, right over left. Temple dancer. That's it, get a lovely flow with the breath. You know the dance now. And you're doing beautifully. And then we're going to take right behind left, Om Namah Shivaya. Take your hands to your heart as you step back, wide lunge. So always just keep adjusting your feet to suit. A big inhale, breath of joy. Take your hands to your hips. Come to a lovely flat back here. Keep the knees soft or as bent as you want. And then we're hinging from the hips and we're coming to the earth. And we can just hang and rock and let go and feel the fluidity. You might want to take your hands between your feet. Maybe turn the fingers round and walk them back and ease the head in the direction of the earth. It doesn't have to be there. Some of you might hold the big toes and look up and look down. Do whatever you want to do. Just letting go. It's lovely to do a forward bend because it has the same effects as a headstand without the pressure on the head. It's an inversion. And it's nice to have the head resting below the heart, relaxing. Just take a moment to be still and soften. Letting go. And we'll maybe walk the feet in slightly more if they come apart. Turn the toes out. And bend your right knee and listen to the earth. Listen to the earth. Bend your left knee, a big lunge, listen to the earth. Coming into the right, listen to the earth. Coming to the left, listen to the earth and hold the stretch. Well done. So we're turning and coming into a lunge over that left leg. Okay, step back, down dog. Take 3 nice slow breaths here. See if you can lift a little bit higher. And then from here, let's come through our vinyasa. So I'll do a gentle one first. If you know stronger stuff, please go ahead and do it. I'm just going to come into a baby. Push up, bring the knees down. Come down nice and slowly, elbows in. So you can stay low like that. You can do Sphinx, or you might come into Up Dog. Couple of breaths here. Draw the chest through. Keep the tummy firm. Lift your heart. You can look up in Up Dog if you like. Brilliant. So if you can flip over and come into Down Dog, do. Otherwise, I think most people come onto your knees. You need to watch your back in this. Let's take some nice restorative breaths here in Down Dog. Keep the neck long. Well done. So are you ready to do the other side? If you're not, just take a couple of breaths in child. So either taking the child if you feel you need a rest before we do the other side, or holding the Down Dog. Listen to what you need today. It's really important. I'm going to start with just tucking the right toes under and taking that little bit of a plantar flexion through the feet, having a little bit of a rock there. What does that feel like? Stretching it out. And then the other foot. Hopefully that should feel good. And then you're going to lift the left leg up. Nice big stretch. Circle the ankle, wiggle the toes. If you lift a little bit higher. That's it. You can step through, or you can help it through, or you can draw the knee towards the chest. Big step through. Well done. Clip the right toes out. So all the same on the other side. Come up, square the hips off. Let's find Vera 1 here. Breathe well, lift your heart. Keep the tummy nice and firm. Well done. So you're going to move in this. Think about your balance. So breathe in as you lift up. Breathe out as you step forward and you tuck the toes under and put a little bit of a rock here. Good stretch through the front of that left foot. Okay, bend the right knee a little bit too, maybe so you feel it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hang out there a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Will you stay there? Well done. Draw the knee in. And float it back, your flying bird. So nice and steady on the left foot, the knee soft. You can flex the right foot or point it, it doesn't matter. I think if you flex it, it squares the hips off more. Let's do 5 more breaths. 5, 4, you can do it, keep the tummy firm. 3, 2, and how gracefully can you step down, Warrior 1. So you're going to turn, so you sort of diagonals onwards. Open your wings and see if you can interlink your fingers the other way. The pinky fingers, not usually on top, is on top. You lift our hearts. So keep the length through the sides and the front of the body. So our devotional, our humble warrior, you might just rest there, that might be enough. Or you might just relax through the crown of the head, lengthen the neck. Push down with that left foot. So you really feel it working, left outer thigh, left hip. If you want to sort of walk the foot out a little bit or turn the toes out even, that might help. Watch the knee. And relax and soften. So you can draw the arms over even more. So we're working our head towards the floor, the arms towards the floor, but everything is only direction. What does that feel like? Take the breath, the energy there. Where can you soften? And suddenly you might want to just take the hands down and ease away a little bit. So you can let go a little bit more. It might be different this side. You might want to walk the foot out a little bit. You might work the elbows towards the floor. You might adjust where the feet are. You might take your thumbs towards your forehead. And remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter how far you go, as long as it feels good for you. Allow yourself to soften. Good. Couple more breaths. Think about breathing in deep and soft. Breathing out softly. Breathing in deep and soft. Breathing out softly. You're going to turn so the right toes face the front, right knee down. And taking a look over, that's it, a little look over towards the left. Stay there or tuck the back toes under and make this a bit stronger. And then you might want to open your wing or you might want to go a bit more back there, but don't come up too high. So nice deep breaths here. Maybe turn the pinky fingers towards the back of the head. That's it, stay with it. Feel where the breath holds you in position. And as you relax, you can lengthen and you can make more space. Wonderful, let's come down. Turn your right toes out. Sweep the right fingers back. We're on the other side in Vera-2. Beautifully strong. And we can move in this because it might be quite nice to straighten the legs out. Inhaling up. And exhaling, sinking, pushing the walls away, spreading the energy out. Make your yoga like a beautiful dancer. Do a couple more. Well done. And we'll stay there, we'll meet there, and we'll turn face front on. Lovely. So some breaths here, some true energizing breaths. You breathe in, and as you breathe out, you take a seat, let the energy wash through you. Breathe in, and exhale down. And again. Let the breath be the essence of your practice. And again, maybe breathe a little bit deeper. Move a little bit deeper. Can you come right down a little bit further? Let's do two more. Breathing right into the top of the lungs. All the way up, navel to spine. And rooting down and lifting the energy up to the sky. Letting it wash through you. Offering it. And getting it back. And this time, the right foot comes behind the left. Om Namah Shivaya. And we spread out and the left arm's on top of the right. And we can circle, wiggle, we can play with this. Temple dancer, rock. How are your legs feeling? It's been quite strong on the legs, hasn't it? I can feel it. They do have a rest, you know, if you need to. Fabulous. I'm going to take your left foot behind your right, Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the divine consciousness. And then come. And I forgot to do Goddess, so we'll do it now. Take a seat. Open up the Goddess. Have a nice smile. Breathe well. Then it might be good to do a big stretch up here. Prayer hands all the way through. Big breath of joy. Come to a lovely flat back. And because we work so hard, you might want to bend the knees and just hang there. Oh, that's nice. Lengthen the neck. Have a little rock. Sway from side to side. Some of you might want a stronger practice. You might want to take the hands down and ease the head in the direction of the earth. Everything is only a direction. And remember that this is a lovely inversion. It's an alternative to your headstand. Allow yourself to soften, not holding anywhere. Relaxing the face, relaxing the jaw. And go. So we'll come again. Turn the toes out, bend the right knee, listen to the earth. Bend the left knee, listen to the earth. To the right and to the left. Then we'll have to come to the right again. Well done. All the way down. Step it back, down dog. Breathe well. Either come straight into child or come and take a vinyasa. You can come through a full plank. Coming up, hot dog. Down dog. A few lovely restorative breaths here. Stretch it out. Letting go. And then come and rest in child because you've worked really hard. Allow yourself to soften. Take a few slow breaths into the back body. And relax the lower back. Relax the neck. Letting go. Allowing the earth to hold you. And feel as you breathe in and you breathe out, you can let go of any tension, any tightness, any stress, anything you don't need. Just feel you can let go into the earth and the earth can absorb it all. So you're very welcome to stay there a bit longer. We've got one more standing posture. If you want to come up into down dog and take a few breaths here again, that's fine. And slowly, 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 slowly walk your hands back to your feet and curl up, standing. Take your hands to your hearts. So I'm just going to show you the walking Shiva. Shiva walking. Doesn't really matter how you start, as long as you finish with your left leg behind. You can take your right foot in front. Sorry, your left foot in front. Om Namah Shivaya. Then we come to prayer. Om Namah Shivaya. So it's really just walking to the front of your mat. Shiva's walk, okay. Shall we all start together? Hands. If your legs are too tired, you can always take just a nice slow walk and don't worry about it. You don't have to do everything, you know. So if you're at the front, just make sure that your left leg is behind. Mine is now, it wasn't. And we hold it on the Shiva with the left leg behind at the front. And meet me there. You all there? Brilliant. And then we're going to come and do the Shiva's dance. Remember like last week, Shiva's dance. Bend the knee, slightly externally rotate the hip, soften the standing leg. And Shiva has many arms, so Many arms to play with. The dancing Shiva. Oh, well done. Wow. And then very gracefully she says, come to another little curtsy. I'm going to come down to the earth. You might be glad to know. And take your left knee behind your right. So a little twist here. And you might want to straighten the leg. Sit beautifully tall. Give yourself a little hug and take a little rock. And take a few breaths and relax. And allow yourself to soften. And very gently, just take your fingertips behind you and hold a little huggy twist like this. You can reach the left arm up, take a back bend. And that's it. Do what feels right for you. Breathe well. So breathing in all that energy, imagine it flowing up your spine and breathing out, letting it wash through you. Imagine breathing up from the tailbone to the crown of the head and letting it flow through you. Take a couple of more nice, slow, easy breaths here. Really feel it. So either stay there, or some of you might like to stretch out your right leg. And take a little twist over to the right a bit more. Give the leg a nice stretch. And we could take the toe or the foot with the right hand and guide it back. Or pigeon. So have a little wiggle here. Maybe take a block or something under your left sitting bone. Lift your heart. Take a nice stretch with that right leg. Take a few breaths. Really stretch it out. We'll breathe in, we'll breathe out. Come to the earth. Chin towards the earth. And again, rising up. And coming down. Couple more if it's right for you. When you've done your two more, just come and rest, however, and relax. And you do know that pigeon's not right for everybody. Stay there if it's right for you, but you do know that you can always do a laying down pigeon like that. You know that, don't you? Some people like to do that, or even a seated pigeon. Okay. Or even like that with the knees bent. Or just taking child. And let go. Let go with each breath. So I'm doing this on Saturday, March the 27th. Saturday, March the 28th is the full moon. March, the worm moon. Lovely, isn't it, the worm moon? So all the worms are active in the soil. So beautiful to see them as I do my garden. So the worm moon, the full moon. This is the full moon promise. I release the need for those things in my life that are not serving myself or my higher purpose. I'm not afraid to let go. I'm not afraid to let go. And in their place, I receive love, joy, and abundance. In their place, I receive love, joy, and abundance. So we can't sometimes create things we need to in case before we've let go of other stuff. And sometimes it's really hard to let go, isn't it? that the things are attached to. And often you feel a lot better when you have done, when you've made that step, when you've accepted change. Come up slowly. You can either take a child or another big down dog stretch. 3 or 4 breaths to stretch the legs out of that. Maybe lift the toes up and spread them out. Well done. Slowly walk up again. Walking Shiva. Just one more walking Shiva. So you need to finish with your right leg behind this time. So meet me with your right leg behind. Well done. Let's hold that. We're all here. And then very carefully balance on your left foot. I'm going to open up the Shiva stance. The Shiva with the many arms. 4 arms actually. Not that many. Can you keep steady? Can you be creative? Shiva is the creator and the destroyer. Well done. And then very gracefully come to the earth. Do the other side. Take a little seat, have a little rock there. Take your fingers behind you. Stretch it back. A little twisting, whatever's right to you to the left. Some nice energizing breaths. We need these twists in spring. Lovely and toning for our liver. Nice stretch in the lower back and the kidney area. Revitalizing, recharging us. You can feel a bit, the energy can be a little bit low in spring, can't it? Come out a bit more. Always good to have a good old twist. And if you want to take the outer foot, you can open up. And some of you might take the toe and ease it round or help it round in your own way. Remember, if you want to sit like that, that's cool as well, that's fine. But get adjusted. I don't like to have my leg at a right angle. I like to draw the heel in and not have such an angle in my knee. It's better for my knee. It's up to you. Sit nice and tall. Maybe put a cushion under your bum if you need it and get like a nice yummy stretch through that left thigh. And you know you can always do the laying down Shiva. Or we can look up and we can come down. This is a nice stretch. Just lengthening the spine out of the pelvis. Coming into a little bit of a back bend if you like. You're doing well. We're nearly there. Wonderful. Keep that space. And sometimes it's quite nice to just walk away from that right knee and just come and, oh, that feels good. And rest and let go. Allow yourself to soften. Be aware, so you're aware of the sensations. You can find a place where it's good to be. That's called your edge. And you're comfortable. Where you can stay and let go. And know it's perfectly okay to back off as well if you need to. These postures are really good and stimulating for liver and gallbladder areas. They're the organs for spring. Connected to the wood elements. Wood in the Chinese energy system is the element for spring. New shoots, new growth, growing upwards, new beginnings, the element for spring. Take a few more breaths here. Breathing in deep and soft. Breathing out softly. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. Then come up. And you might want to just rest in child now. Or you might want to take an optional down dog. If you want to take a nice optional down dog, do that. Stretch it out. Come onto your knees. See if you can take your knees nice and wide apart and take your sit bones back in the direction of your heels. And just make a little pillow. Rest your forehead on that, or take your head in your palms and let go and soften and relax. Be still. Soften your shoulders. Relax your hips. And you can stay there if you like, or you might like to come forwards. Call these my mermaid legs. I'm going to come up into mermaid sphinx, which is like that. Now that might be too strong. So if that's too strong, don't do it. Just take the feet down. Okay, if the back doesn't like that. If it does, we'll stay like this. We'll take a nice stretch through our back. Push down with your pubic bone, push down with your thighs, and get that lovely curve in the mid-back. If you can breathe in, draw the chest through, breathe in, lengthen the spine. Got like a sort of smile between your shoulders. Tummy is nice and firm. Breathe well. Keep the neck long, keep looking ahead, relax your neck. These are very strengthening for your spine, your back, and stimulating for the kidney area. If that's too much, you can always rest your forehead on your hands, because your spine will be more neutral then if you don't want to take too much back bend. Adjust to suit yourself. Take a couple more breaths here. Wonderful. Now take your legs wide apart and make a pillow for your hands and rest. Make a pillow for your head, with your hands and rest. And relax and let go. And soften. So it's the full moon. I'm going to share with you the full moon wishes for the world. Full moon wishes for the world. May you have comfort in your surroundings. May you have love in your heart. May you have hugs to keep you warm. May you have smiles forthcoming. May you have peace when you sleep. And may you have a house you can call home. Allowing yourself to soften, letting go. And slowly coming up, coming back into the Sphinx. And look at your right hand and just thread it under the left. So you're going to come and lay on your side. And this top on the left arm can do a nice big rainbow circle. And you can open up. Have an adjust to the shoulders. So you can open up into a simple little twist here. Press your head into the mat. Lift your chest up and spread your shoulders out. Come down a bit so maybe you can see me a little bit better. It's a job on the floor at home. Hopefully you can see me. Breathe well. Maybe draw the knees in a little bit. Maybe do anything else you like stretch the leg out or both legs out. Just relax and soften. And for that lovely stretch through your low back. And it doesn't matter if your shoulder touches the floor or your knee does, just as long as it's comfy and you feel good. Right on, let's come to the centre. Do a little bit of windshield wiper here. Draw the knees in a bit. Take your bum over to the left a bit. So your right. Take your palms together. And you can open up like drawing a big rainbow here and settle. Stretch the other side out. Press your head into the mat, lift the chest up and spread the shoulders out. You can have palms up or palms down, it doesn't really matter. Breathe well. Keep length, imagine lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. You make more space through the sacrum, through the low back, after all that back bending. And start to slow down the breath now. Slow down the thoughts. We're taking the journey towards Shavasana. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Well done. So come to the centre. Maybe take the soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Have a little rock from side to side. Sorry, you may have to get up and put something warm on for Shavasana. So do what you need to do. Get up, put something warm on, light a nice candle, play some soft music, turn the lights on. And then get cosy and comfy for your final relaxation. Well, it's been a lovely day. It's been a bit chilly today, hasn't it? Take a few slow breaths and sink back into the support of your mat, letting go. Just taking time to absorb all the good work. And this is called deep peace. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. The moon and stars pour their healing light on you. Deep peace. Deep peace, deep peace. So it's now time to leave this practice of Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back now to the here and now, the present moments. Be aware of your surroundings, your body relaxing on the mats. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and toes and make some small movements for your ankles and your wrists. Maybe turn your head gently from side to side. Or do a big stretch and a big yawn. You might draw your knees in and do some circles. Taking time to gently get back into your day. As you roll onto your side, and it doesn't particularly matter which one. And put your hand down and feel the earth. Opening your eyes, being aware of the light and shade, and helping yourself up to seated so we can finish this practice. And sit comfortably. Do a big inhale, prana mudra. Bring the hands all the way to the heart. And thank yourself for finding the time to practice today. Namaste. Om Shanti. And thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day. And if you like the video, there's plenty more on www.exeteryoga.org, or there's 65 videos now, I've just counted, on Jill's YouTube channel. And please put like or subscribe to my channel. Thank you.